Welcome to the English with Kirsty podcast from www.englishwithkirsty.com. Here I'll be sharing with you tips, information and other learning resources so that you can improve your business English.
Hi and welcome to episode 212 of the English with Kirsty podcast, and we've got another special guest today. Somebody that I met on LinkedIn, where I think meeting all the guests at the moment. It's really good. Please tell us something about yourself, what you do, and where you're based.
Hi, Kirsty.
Hi.
My name is Maribel, and thank you so much for having me. This is my very first podcast, so it's exciting. Yeah, so Maribel, I am originally from Chile, but I left Chile with my family 16 years ago to live in the States, in California, for 2.5 years. Then we lived in New Zealand for 13 years. And in January this year, we moved to Dublin. So very new here. I'm in Ireland. I'm loving it so far. And I'm a branding and website designer. I've been doing this for a long time, freelancing for many years, trying to get a job in the field, but it was quite hard for a migrant woman, a mom with young kids to get a job in an agency back in New Zealand. It's similar to everywhere, really. So I decided to co-found a design studio, founded a business with a friend of mine that was in the same situation. And we've been in business for 8 years now, almost 9. We have a branding and website design studio.
That's a really positive story. The thing that you were looking for didn't exist, so you created it. You did it yourself. I think that's great.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's all about creating your own opportunities, I guess.
Yeah, and if and you can make it work around your needs, with a young family, but also I think people will relate to that as well if they're in a similar situation, or just that the fact that sometimes people don't want to go to a big agency. They want something a bit more personal, a bit more of a somebody who understands what they're looking for. So who are your clients now? What kind of people do you tend to work with?
I do work with a lot of other women in business, although we have all sort of clients, from medical recruitment agency, payroll companies, teams of engineers, but most of my clients have been women in business, small business owners, or women who are taking their business to the next level. So they've been doing their websites or the branding for themselves, but they need to elevate it and have the budget to hire an agency to do that. And I would say that's my favorite client, really, because as women, we kind of understand each other. We work in similar ways, and they feel really comfortable actually to talk to other women about or asking questions about things. Sometimes they come to me because they have bad previous experiences with, I don't know, developers or designers that don't understand them, or they feel kind of stupid asking questions, But between women, we work so well that it's a really good relationship. Sometimes it builds very long-term relationship, actually. So that's been
because
really
things
nice.
change, I guess, like new services are added to a website, or maybe they want to do a rebrand after a few years. And then if you've already got that good relationship in place, then why wouldn't you go back to the person who helped you the first time?
Yes, it's true. We also started offering hosting and maintenance for our website. So I decided to, if someone wants to work with me, we'll host and maintain the website. So it's not like, okay, there you have your website and off you go. And a few months later, they have no idea what to do with the website, or something happened to it and no one is doing the maintenance. So when people come to me, they know that they're going to have a long-term relationship. So we are kind of partners on their business. So we are supporting them all the way.
Yeah, I think that's really important as well to, for SEO, for example, if you just have a static site and you don't add anything to it, you don't change it, you're not doing yourself any favors in terms of new content or.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people would shy away from that and go, I don't don't know how to do it. And then that prevents them, even though they probably have ideas for content and things that they want to add. But
yes, true. Happens.
So do you work in multiple languages then, or do you focus on English primarily, or how does that part of it work?
So because I started my business journey back in New Zealand, there is not a lot of Spanish in that world, let's say, business world. So it was mostly in English, which was actually really good because when I started my English, it wasn't really good. So I'm a little bit broken, my accent was very thick and strong. And I started going to a networking group because I needed to expand my networks. And I met a lot of ladies. They helped me out actually, and giving me advice like slow down a little bit. We're talking too quickly. It's hard to understand you. And that was a big push for me in my language improvement.
Yeah,
it helped me a lot to improve my English, feel more confident, and yeah, I think that's the key, really.
And I love that because when I work with new people on the podcast, when I have guests, we have a meeting before the recording meeting, and I remember that's something you told me when we met, and I just thought that's great that you said that your English improved because of your business, and that having to do new things, be in new situations with the business meant that you pushed yourself, and then you found you could do it, and then you improved. And I just think that's really, really positive story, because when you work for a company, for example, I have people that I work with who want to improve their English, and they work for companies, and they have to do it. They don't get a choice. They have to go to meetings, and they come to me because they want some support with that, and that's fine. But when you work for yourself, or when you have your own company, you could choose not to do these things. And in some ways, that's also choosing not to grow. And I'm saying that from my own perspective as someone who uses additional languages too. But it's always easy to say, oh yeah, I won't go to that networking event in the other language, or I won't put that post up in the, because it might be wrong. But if you do that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you don't know what opportunities would be behind that door if you knock on it. But sometimes it takes a bit more, but when you do it, then you do feel this sense of, yeah, I did it. I went out of my comfort zone, and I did it, and then you get the rewards.
And it's not easy. Probably many people will relate to it. It's very difficult. It's very scary when you are not confident in the second language in the new country that you're in. Just sometimes go and meet people, not only for business stuff or networking, but even just to make new friends from another culture, people who doesn't speak your primary language. It is scary, and I understand many people feel very anxious about it, and that brings them to at the end not do it.
Yeah, and sometimes that is harder. Like, I don't know, that there are different ways that sometimes it is harder to present yourself in a professional way, because that's a different kind of language. But sometimes just having a coffee with somebody is harder, because you don't know what they're going to say. It could go anywhere, this conversation. And you can't prepare for that, because it's just a coffee or lunch or something. And then maybe it's an opportunity if the other person doesn't speak your first language, because then you have to, like, some of my friends speak English so well, and if I'm learning their first language, I think, I won't do it, because I know. But if somebody doesn't speak your first language, then you have to, and you think, well, whatever I do, it's going to be better than what they could do in my language, because they don't speak it. I think sometimes that's an opportunity, but it also is a bit more pressure sometimes, because it's all on you, that the other person can't help you.
Yes, true.
So how did you do that? So you moved, for example, to Ireland. Have you found it easy to meet new people, or?
I'm working on it. So we've been here for only 4 months. The first 2 months was all about settling in, getting things to the apartment, getting an apartment, etc. So, but now I joined a couple of networking groups. And yesterday we have a in-person meeting. So yeah, it's slowly. I have to follow up with them now, probably have a coffee with them it hasn't, I couldn't say it's been difficult. It's just trying to get into the right groups.
Yeah, find where you feel at home, where you
Yes.
feel like you
Yeah.
connect with the people.
I would say you have to find the right group. It could be networking, it could be meetups. Meetups are really, really good. Sometimes not just for business stuff, but you can find people who like to go hiking if you like hiking, or I believe there are some make friends meetups. They go out for a drink and you just meet people. Irish people are very friendly, and I love that. Sometimes it helps because they break the ice. They come to you and say hello, because that's a very scary thing to do at the beginning when you don't know anyone. How do you approach people? But Irish are really, really nice and friendly, so that helps a lot. And yeah, so I joined a couple of networking groups, and in a couple of weeks I'm going to a conference in Newcastle in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, and they open a Facebook group for all the attendees, and I'm connecting with people via Facebook and making dates so we can meet in person over there. There are a couple that are in Dublin, so I'll try to get a coffee with them. Yeah, it's all about networking in business. Since the beginning, since I started, was everything about networking, getting out and meeting people and talking to them. Go for a coffee, go for lunch or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially like for the business, but also for perhaps if you're, I know you have a business partner, but if you're working alone as well, like it's good to have those connections. If you don't have colleagues, then you know.
Oh yes. Well, as you can, I work from home. I'm in my apartment, and now my business partner is on the other side of the world. So we have different time zones. We have one catch up a week with my business partner and another with the team. And obviously it's late at my night or early their morning.
Yeah.
So it feels more alone in that way. So my plan is to find more team members in this area, probably Ireland or the UK.
Okay, so it's the same time
to feel
zone.
a little bit more, yes,
Yeah.
to feel the team a little bit closer.
So what kind of services do you provide? Do you do the hosting? You do the design for the websites? Do you write content as well? Or do you help with the branding? What's your portfolio of services?
Yeah, so we have sort of a framework. I put all the services that my team have provides, starting from branding identity. So researching about your brand and finding designing your branding visuals. So your logo, color palette, font pairing, etc., graphics, and creating branding guidelines for our clients so they keep a branding consistent. Then we offer web design. We design the website. Also, we host it and maintain it for them so they don't have to do all the technical stuff. We do updates every week, and we make sure that the hosting that we use is very good hosting, and security checks, all that stuff. Make sure that the website is up all the time, is fast, and is secure, safe. And we also offer, we can do content as well. We have a couple of copywriters on the team, and they also write SEO optimized content. So we can do from writing content or edit the content that the clients create, to creating from scratch or creating blog posts, monthly blog posts. So yeah, it's a kind of the whole package.
And it's really customizable as well by the sounds of it. So if somebody needed some of those services and not others, then you can build something that will meet their needs to suit each client and where they are on their journey.
Definitely. We can adapt. We do have a system, but it also, there is room to adapt to the client's needs always.
And do you work, we were talking about what kinds of people you work with, but is that across the globe, or are you mainly focusing in the areas where your team are based, or where are most of your customers from?
No, not really. Well, at the beginning, because we were based in New Zealand, and when we were quite small, more of our clients were in New Zealand, and most of them are still there. But I would say in the third year in business, I started just by referrals, meeting people. I had clients from the UK, from Australia, Canada, the States. And funny enough, now that I moved to Europe, I started doing online networking, like international networking, and I'm part of a groups in the States. So most of our clients at the moment, the current client that I'm working with, they are all based in the States.
Okay. That's the power of online networking, isn't it? I mean, mine goes kind of the other way, like east rather than west, because I work with a lot of people in mainland Europe. So, but yeah, the power of online networking is great, because I think that's,
yes,
if you can meet other people, you can, and also as what you said about referrals and networking, it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to feel like you're selling. Obviously, people need to know what you're doing and what you can offer them, how you can help them, but it feels a lot more personable than, seeing it as, oh, I have to do marketing now. And for people who don't really like marketing, something like networking, like building quality relationships with people, it does feel a lot more like a human way to do it, to find new clients. And it's fun as well, if you like people. If you don't, maybe it's not, but if you like people,
that would be a problem. No, I do like people. I need my downtime as well. It's not like talking to people all day. I can't do that. It's exhausting. But I do like connecting with people, having virtual coffee dates with people anywhere. Met people from so many places. That is amazing. Really grateful for that. And it's thanks to the business that I built and the networks that I've been joining, and also the fact that I speak English now, that I can join and meet people from other cultures and countries. It's amazing.
Yeah, more languages open doors to, I mean, with mine is the other way. I spoke English anyway, but the more languages I learn, it opens doors to be able to communicate with other people, maybe who don't speak English, or like for me, I don't feel that people should have to speak English with me just because it's like, if I speak their language too, then it's not fair to expect them to do all the work, but I think when you learn other languages, it creates new opportunities that weren't there before. I would say that I'm a language teacher.
Yes.
I do believe it as well. I do it as well.
Oh yeah. Well, as a person that I never, before I moved out of Chile, I actually didn't have a plan of first learning a new language or founding a business, being a businesswoman. It was never on my radar. But it just happens because the story I told you, because I couldn't get a job. So I said, okay, let's do something about it. And the story about why we moved to another country was, we were watching and the news back in Chile with my husband, and there was they were talking about the Australian skilled migrant visa. And my husband said, do you want to go to Australia? And he said, okay. And then we started talking about what if we move, and that's how it started. Before that, there was no plan for this, to moving to another country, to learn languages, to travel more, or have a business. It wasn't in my life plan.
Life's an adventure.
It just happened.
But it's also like you chose to make the most of the situation. Like, that wasn't great, not being able to find a job in an agency. Some people might give up, but you didn't. You decided to do something about it.
I guess it's in my kind of nature to find ways to do what I want.
Yeah, and that's. So
for me, it feels natural, but a lot of people have mentioned that to me. Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, I think it's the right way to go. If you want to solve a problem, you find a solution. You don't just complain about it. But it takes courage to do some of the things that you did. To start a business, to completely move to the other side of the world, and
many people say, "Oh, you're so brave just for moving from New Zealand to Ireland." for example, oh, you're so brave.
But you've already done it
It's an
once.
adventure. We love, yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you do it again, then it's not such a, I don't know, things will be different, but yeah, you know that you can do it because you've already done it once, so you can do it again.
Yeah, yes.
And if people want to find out more about you, where's the best place? I will add your links to the show notes page anyway, but where's the best place to get in touch with you to find out more?
Yeah, so I hang out a lot in Facebook and LinkedIn. You can find me as Maribel Aburto. Yeah, you can share the links. And my agency website is wearecreativa with an A at the end.com. And I'm also launching my own website, which is maribelaburto.com. Yeah.
Cool. I'll add all those links to your page so that people can find them and connect with you.
Yeah, perfect.
Facebook,
yes.
LinkedIn. And thank you for coming to share your story with us. I'm really glad that you said yes, because I wanted to say but yeah, and I think there's a lot that we can learn from this. So thank you for sharing.
No, thank you so much for having me, Kirsty.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the English with Kirsty podcast. If you have any questions or comments, my email address is kirsty@englishwithkirsty.com, or you can go to www.englishwithkirsty.com/podcast, where you'll find information about the individual episodes.